The story begins in complete darkness. The sound of heavy chains and metal echoes in a narrow space as a steel elevator slowly rises. Inside, it stands a teenage boy, confused and terrified. He doesn't remember who he is, where he came from, or how he got there. His mind is completely blank. The only thing he knows, somehow, is his name. Thomas. The elevator suddenly stops. The doors open to a blinding light and the noise of dozens of voices. Thomas stumbles forward and finds himself surrounded by a group of teenage boys, all staring at him with the same mix of curiosity and caution. He is standing in a wide-open, grassy area, surrounded on all sides by massive stone walls that stretch higher than anything he has ever seen. The place feels isolated, trapped, and unreal. Thomas begins asking questions, but no one has real answers. Slowly, he learns the truth. This place is called the Glade. Every boy here arrived the same way he did, through the elevator, with no memories of their past lives. Once a month, the elevator brings up one new boy. No adults, no explanation, no way out. Albie, the leader of the Glade, explains how they survive. Everyone has a job to keep the community alive. Some farm, some build, some cook. But the most dangerous job belongs to the runners. Every morning, the giant stone walls open, revealing a massive maze. The runners enter the maze to map it and search for a way out. At sunset, the walls close again. Anyone still inside the maze when that happens never comes back alive. From the very beginning, Thomas feels different. He can't accept the idea of staying trapped forever. The maze both terrifies him and pulls him toward it, like he's meant to be there. His curiosity puts him at odds with Gally, a hot-headed boy who believes the rules exist for a reason, and that change will only get them killed. One day, a runner is trapped inside the maze as the sun begins to set. Panic spreads as the walls start closing. Without thinking, Thomas makes a reckless decision. He runs straight into the maze just before the walls shut completely. It's a forbidden act, one that no one has ever dared to do. Inside the maze, Thomas faces true horror. Endless stone corridors shift and move. Strange mechanical noises echo through the air. Then he sees them, the Grievers, nightmarish creatures, half machine and half living flesh, built to hunt and kill. With the help of Minho, one of the runners, Thomas barely survives the night and makes it back to the Glade alive. His survival changes everything. From that moment on, nothing is the same. Thomas insists on becoming a runner, despite everyone's objections. As the days pass, patterns begin to emerge. The maze is not random. The walls move with purpose, following a system, like a code waiting to be cracked. At the same time, the Grievers seem to be growing more aggressive, as if reacting to something new. Then the impossible happens. The elevator rises again, but this time, it brings a girl. The first girl ever to arrive in the Glade. Her name is Teresa. As soon as she emerges, she collapses unconscious, gripping Thomas's hand tightly. Before she loses consciousness, she whispers a single sentence that sends fear through everyone who hears it. Everything is going to change. Teresa's arrival marks the end of the old order. The elevator never comes back. Thomas begins having strange dreams, visions of laboratories, scientists, and surveillance screens. One word repeats itself over and over: WCKD. When Teresa wakes up, she and Thomas realize they share a connection. They recognize each other in a way they can't explain. Slowly, the truth becomes clearer. The maze isn't a prison by accident. It's an experiment. Then disaster strikes. The maze stops moving. The walls remain open. The grievers begin entering the glade itself. What was once a place of relative safety turns into a battlefield. Panic erupts. Boys are killed. The rules that kept them alive no longer matter. There is only one choice left: stay and die, or risk everything to escape. Thomas leads a small group into the maze one final time. Alongside Teresa and Minho, they push deeper than anyone ever has before. The journey is brutal. One by one, members of the group are lost. Fear, sacrifice, and desperation drive them forward until they finally reach a hidden control room at the maze's core. Inside, they discover the truth. They have been watched the entire time. Every decision, every death, every act of courage was part of a scientific trial. Their intelligence, their teamwork, and their survival instincts were the real test. They escaped the maze at last, exhausted and traumatized, but alive. For a brief moment, it feels like freedom. But that hope is shattered almost immediately. The world outside is far more dangerous than the maze ever was. The final realization is devastating. The maze was never the end. It was only the beginning.